My name is Daryl R. And this is the thing I like, not at all. And especially, and I want to, thank the men of Recovery Club. I want to thank Phil first for inviting me. I don't know what I'm going to say up to Nick and Bill yet for inviting me, and especially giving me the topic. And I was listening to the first gentleman, like you came up with 3, I came up with 4, but I'm going to switch one. You give me one of yours, and I'm going to give you one of mine to go back. Because one don't need to go back with us. And Bill gave me the topic, nuts, not using steps. And I really didn't have time, through the week to process it. But then like sitting like nuts, not using steps. Well, when I initially got here, working steps, I didn't have time to work steps because if I worked steps would interfere with my other bullshit. Working steps would interfere with me, being broken, being fractured and finding a broken female to help me mend back into the position that I feel I needed to be in at that particular second. So when I decided to work, when I decided to work steps, like it was easy because when I first came around here, like they would tell us the first 3, I can't, he can, so why don't I let him? Then the party starts in the 4th. When you take that search, there's moral inventory of self. So like for me, that tells me, Daryl, what have you really made of all this time? Are you that person that you have claimed to be so many years? Then you go into the 5th and it talks about God and another human being, the exact nature of your wrong. See, the part of the city that I come from, you never tell on yourself. Never. So I held on to some stuff for a very long time. I caused a whole lot of destruction in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous because I wanted y'all to remember this. I'm that guy off Center Avenue. I'm the guy that walked the yard at the State Correctional Institution. So really and truly, I ain't really to be messed with. But I could no longer, like some stuff happened, and I could no longer lure her with the intent to recover in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. Then you go on the steps and they start talking about, you start learning some stuff. They talk about character. Man, no, I was a character, but I didn't have any character. I would do some of the most simplest stuff. They start talking about integrity. That's that sucker dude that wear a suit to work every day. That's dudes that got integrity. I was a thief and a liar all my life. Then we start talking about the simplest things. What I've learned in the rooms of Narcotics. I live in between some guardrails. And the guardrails is the steps and grace and mercy. And a lot of times, man, I'll tell people I'm not in Narcotics Anonymous. Narcotics Anonymous is in me.
All right.
Because I can't take the risk to say I'm just a member. No, like, goddamn it, Narcotics Anonymous rules my whole entire life. Because if not, I can come up with some real bright ideas to do some other stuff. Not even using. Dope, like, look, man, like some of the stuff I can figure out, getting high ain't got nothing to do with it. But what I've learned in this process, man, like Narcotics Anonymous, like, well, you know, we embrace each other. But I had to be able to embrace me in order to be able to embrace you. When we talk about getting conscious contact with God, like all of a sudden, I'm Daryl going to give God permission to look over me, and that's something he's been doing all the time. Like when they talk about the footprints, you know, one set of footprints, y'all, man, look, God been carrying me for my higher power. I've been carrying me for a long time. So if he need a break, like God can go sit down for a minute, but I'm going to still do the right thing. All the time, because I have no other choice. Like, I've bought into this thing. Like, my 401k is the Rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. So that's my 401k. So I have to continue to let the Dow Jones do what it do and the stock keep going up. Because I can't, at 65, I can't take no hits. None. Can't afford it. The dividends just don't add up right now. And I'm just gonna tell you what the steps have done for me. And you incorporate the steps in Rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. Like people that probably wouldn't ask you shit. Call Daryl. What you think it is? Because I'll be looking at the phone like, y'all. Because my mother told me, look, the woman that raised me told me, God rest her soul, told me she had basically no confidence in me, because she told me that she wouldn't pawn her watch to get me out of jail. And I was like, damn, huh? I'm like, really? Without saying, you know, some foul shit, yeah, I took it as, fuck you. Y'all keep laughing. I ain't recovering all the damn time. I'll meet you outside. No. But when you start, you know, when you can tell when people work steps. You can almost tell. Sit in the Rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, listen to a discussion meeting. You can hear when people working steps. You can hear steps from stuff. And like working the steps, you start to get feelings. Like I was in one of my, you know, oh, by the way, if you ever in Pittsburgh, Wednesday night, 8 o'clock, one page at a time, it's the Anala Club. Now, all don't come at once, because it's a big meeting. So you can come on next Wednesday, you can come the Wednesday after that. So we give y'all slots of when y'all can come. Nick, we'll see you next year. And I get real passionate about the Rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. And like one of the greatest things that I'm glad they do is when they do the mission statement of Narcotics Anonymous. Because like sometimes, man, we confuse Narcotics Anonymous with the other fellowship. I thank God for him, the one that like helped us grow this great program. But like Narcotics Anonymous is inclusive. We include everything. Crosses, if you cross it, if you're frog addicted, yellow frog, blue frog, cockeyed, you can come to the Rooms of Narcotics Anonymous. And I get, and like especially about my home group Wednesday, I get a little, you know, because sometimes I think like guys come in and try to intimidate my home group members. And most of my home group members, they ain't rough around the edges no more. And I've been here for a minute. You know, my clean date is November 11th, 1989. If God allowed me to live till next day, I'll be celebrating 35 years clean. Amen. Don't clap for me because the only reason I'm clean, I've stayed clean this long is because of y'all. Because of guys like Nick, because guys like Daryl, because guys like Bill, because guys like Phil, because guess what? I said if y'all can do it, goddamn it, I'm gonna do it. I ain't gonna dip. I ain't gonna see y'all going to a meeting. I'll tell y'all, but dip in the bag. Dipping in the bag don't get you shit around here. You know what I've learned in Narcotics Anonymous, man. Look, last night, I'm a two-time convicted felon. I've served time in the state correctional institution. But last night, this addict, recovering addict, I use addict. See, like another thing, when you get to step, we are recovering addicts. All that addict shit, bullshit. Addicts are still goddamn music. So in this room, in this closet, we are recovering addicts. Do not knock the thing that we are recovering addicts like addicts. They still somewhere. We know where they at. But we are recovering addicts. So guess what? Like wear that shit like we just name tag. We are recovering addicts. Not discovering addicts or recovering. We're recovering from a whole lot of stuff. I was at the Westin Hotel last night. Like I work at a place, only through the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, working steps, nutrition, all other shit. I was at a gala last night. Like off Center Avenue, we don't do galas. We do parties, we do smoke outs, we do, double Dutch shit. I was at a gala last night. And let me tell you, like, what the confidence of rooms of Narcotics Anonymous gives me. Like, Narcotics Anonymous make you feel like, ooh, goddamn, I'm a whole goddamn lot any given time. So I seen the individual, he's a famous individual in the city of Pittsburgh. Tapped him on his shoulder, and I see a great career. But I did not kiss his ass for his autograph. Roethlisberger. I didn't ask him for no picture, because goddamn it, guess what? Since I'm in the rooms of Narcotics Anonymous, I'm just as fucking famous as he is. I ain't stealing cars. I ain't going in my mama's purse. I ain't, stealing out of the dollar store. I ain't doing no fucked up shit to nobody. So guess what? In this arena, I'm just as goddamn famous as he is. So I should have said, do you want my autograph? Yeah. See, because Narcotics Anonymous give you some confidence and knock some shit down. We can do any goddamn thing. Imagine coming out early in the morning, no money, cop all day. You think we ain't creative? So sometimes we get here and get stuck. Like, what's going on? I don't know. What's wrong? I don't know. What you need? I don't know. I know every goddamn day. I just did like I tell you, I work at a place only through the Narcotics Anonymous. My boss gave me I don't evaluate myself good. So I had to do an evaluation. I think the evaluation was real biased because I've only been there 6 months. And like, give me time to fuck up. I always leave space with some wiggle room. And I gave myself a couple fours. But it's only through being in this program that I'm able, because I look at it like this. If I always pat myself on the back, it doesn't give him the opportunity to pat me on my back. And me and my boss, we went to breakfast yesterday, and we sat there and we talked. And like he said, he's seen some stuff in me that sometimes, man, so like I still, even with almost 35 years clean, I still want to hang on to that. Oh, I've been to jail and I've been this. Like I don't have time to feel sorry for my goddamn self right now. The steps have given me the courage, the intestinal fortitude, the ability to do anything I want to do. Working steps is real important. Just not, because they talk about the steps help us save us from us, and the traditions allow me to get along with you all. And I think, man, on any given day, I think I'm a decent dude. You know, when they talk about, you know, I'm gonna run back to the first step when we talk about, you know, prior to over my addiction, my life, I'm gonna become my manager. So I'm gonna give y'all some tidbits on some shit. Please don't, because me and Bill suffer for the same thing. We suffer from fresh tennis shoes and Nikes, locked and loaded. I live by myself. I go buy a new sweatsuit and some new shoes, leave them in the car and go in the house. When it gets dark outside, I'll go outside of my car and I'll sneak them in the house. I didn't say I was perfect. I said I'm trying to get better. But what I know, but through all that, man, I say it jokingly sometimes, because I got a friend that, you know, he always going to tell me, let me go to the store with you so you don't, you know, but it's camaraderie. I got two guys, man, like, look, after this men's conference, I sponsored two guys that I'm no longer going to sponsor anymore because they too much fucking work. But they keep me on my toes, man. You know, I always like, you know, through the steps is in me somewhere. I always thought, because I have an older sister and I'm the baby. And you ever, like, Narcotics Anonymous gives you the ability to dream, and like, I say, man, if I ever had a little brother, what kind of big brother would I be? And I just found out, man, I wouldn't be too bad of a, you know, big brother. You know, what I've learned in this program, man, like Narcotics Anonymous made me be a man of my word. You know, I got a little cousin, he plays football, and I'll be at this football game tomorrow. Like, I don't have no free weekends. I don't work weekends. I don't have no free weekends. This is some bullshit. Like, I'm trying to find a step to, like, don't do shit on weekends. I'm really trying to find that step. You know, and here's something, man, like, really and truly, like, and I said this in my home group yesterday, like, the whole world needs a 12-step program. Or read some literature out of a Narcotics Anonymous book. Because we talk about the diversity. Diversity is our strength. And I got a little cousin, he came, like the same little cousin, he came to me and he said, cousin, you know, he goes to school out in Imperial. And it like pains me to like, I really and truly don't know what to tell him. Other than you continue to be the best person you could possibly be, or whatever that bullshit is, it'll eventually like go away. But like right now, there's some shit you got to deal with. And I never thought, the Center Avenue Daryl, punch him in his mouth. That's the first, punch this son bitch in his mouth. But what we need to do is because like, it all of a sudden it's become a racial issue. On Center Avenue, damn, I ain't never seen no white dope, black dope, blue dope. Dope is dope. Dope don't have no color. But what I've learned in this process is, like, I love Josh, I love Nick, I love Bill. Bill, like, he's just a light-skinned version of me. He ain't shit, but he's a light-skinned version of me. Program, man, like, you'll come in here and you'll learn some stuff. Like, you know, we ain't robbing each other. Narcotics Anonymous will teach you, like, some integrity, give you some integrity. Like, you ever be in the Narcotics Anonymous meeting, somebody drops someone over there, they be talking about, is this somebody's? Like, where the fuck you come from? It's all in the steps, man. Like, if you ain't working steps, you don't want to work steps, you don't think you have to work steps, please work some steps. If nothing else, man, it'll change the content of your character. It has made me a much better person. I am who I am today only because of the rules of Narcotics Anonymous. I never thought I would say some shit like that because I had it made. I suffer from the Tony Montana syndrome. I put this shit together. I made this happen. But I continue to, you know, pray to my higher power and continue to ask, you could have put that down because I'm about done. You know? Look, the steps, the tradition, you people have made, and I don't mean it in that, the fellowship of Narcotics Anonymous has made me the person that I am. And I, or my parents who are no longer here, can't thank you guys enough for who I am. Thank you. I'll thank you if I had 1,000 tongues, goddamn it, I couldn't say thank you enough. But thank you guys, man, for being here. For like the guys that have been here, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. My man, the glasses, thank you for paving the way for dope, doping like me.